Hello and welcome to today's session for the Radiant You online retreat. I'm so happy you're joining us today. We get to hang out with somebody. I'll tell you, I'll be honest, I've been wanting to hang out with her for a long time, and it finally, like, the stars aligned and we got to do it. So today we're going to be creating with Whitney Freya. Whitney, give a quick wave, say hi.
Hello, how are you today?
Awesome. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what we're going to be doing with Whitney, and if you don't know her, who she is, in just a minute. All you're going to need today is either a piece of paper or your retreat journal and some sort of marking tool. You can keep it simple today. So before we dive in, let's take a few deep breaths, get present here together so we can get the most out of this session. So inviting you to close your eyes with me, and let's take a moment to just tune into our breath. So feeling your breath passing in and out of your body. Feeling your chest rising and falling. And now inviting you to notice anything that's been going on before this moment, whatever it took for you to get here today. Anything that's weighing on you that's been going on before right now. Let's take a deep breath in together. And as we exhale, letting that go. And now noticing whatever's coming in the future that's pulling you ahead of this moment. Anything you're nervous or anxious about. Let's take a deep breath in together. And as we exhale, just letting that go. And now let's take one more deep breath, breathing in this moment, right here, right now. And whenever you're ready, inviting you to open your eyes. And if this is your first time joining us, my name is Elizabeth Foley. I'm your host. I'm an artist and a creative catalyst. I help women overcome their creative blocks so they can make creativity a priority in their lives. And we are joined today by Whitney Freya. She's an expert in inspired living, providing practical tools and practices that free your mind from limitations and scarcity to create more in your life that lights you up from the inside out. She's the author of multiple books, including 30 Days to Unstoppable, Rise Above, and Be the Dream Made Visible. You can find them all on Amazon. And she's coming to us today from one of my favorite places, Oregon. So welcome, Whitney. Great to have you here. So tell us, Whitney, what are we going to be up to today?
So, hi, Elizabeth. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for the grounding, breathing meditation. I always love that. I'm really excited today to share with you, who's watching, a really powerful way and fun way to work with symbols, as sacred symbols. To work with symbols in a way that engages your intuitive self, your creative self, and in a way that's going to help you step into your next level of personal expression. So I've been working with symbols for years now, and life just becomes more magical. It's like a treasure hunt every day. So I'm going to share many facets of how to work with symbols.
Perfect. That sounds juicy. And I love symbols, like, for all the personal growth stuff that can be involved in them, but I also love playing with symbols and then bringing them into my artwork. Like, I notice some of the same symbols come up over and over and over again for me. So I'm always interested in, like, new ways to discover some of that personal symbol language to use in the work that I'm creating. So awesome.
Absolutely. And does everyone notice, like, your earrings are echoing the crown on the painting behind you?
Oh, wait, let's see.
You know,
No,
you've got like kind of the gold
I love
feather
it.
or flame. So anyway, that feels super interesting.
Yeah, I love that. Huh, cool.
You never know. They can speak to you very subtly. Yeah,
Yeah.
all my paintings, they all have symbols. I use I like to use symbols as intentions instead of words a lot, because the symbols are energetically cleaner. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Like words can have baggage and the symbols don't have that same baggage. So all my paintings, like the finished piece is symbolic of something that I'm wanting to create more of into the art that is my life, and layered underneath, you can't even see, are symbols that are in alignment with that desire. So, and in my book, Rise Above, it's all about painting with symbols and how you can symbolically, use them to create into your life physically what it is you're wanting more of, whether it's, a red Corvette or a greater inner peace or a new love relationship or a new business that's abundant financially, whatever it is, you can symbolically create that into your space. And then energetically, when they're hanging around you, they're literally like vibrating all of the energy you put into it, and then all of the energy that's inherent in those symbols. So I kind of see it as like, those bumpers we used to put in the bowling lanes so that our balls wouldn't go into the gutter, to kind of keep our focus and our intentions pointed towards what we want. So I feel like the paintings just kind of help do that on a very unconscious level. They're all around my house. You can tell they all have a very intentional meaning.
Yeah. I love that what you said too earlier about symbols not having sort of like the energy that comes along with words. Sometimes if we think about it, I mean, words and language is really just a collection of symbols that we've given meaning to. So no reason why we can't give our own meaning to our own symbols too.
Yeah. And let me give you a really concrete example, because I have an image in here in Rise Above that I can share. So in 2012, I left my marriage. I divorced my husband and left like the financial security. I mean, he had basically retired. We'd moved to Oregon. We bought a 700-acre ranch, built a 4,500 square foot house that I designed every inch of, right? So it was a big move. Our kids were, I don't know, I think 9, 11, and 13 when we moved. And I lived in the house 9 months. And it was a crazy time in my life. It was simultaneously like ecstatic and scared shitless, just, oh my gosh, what have I done? And so there were some things that came up in that time that were not in alignment with what I wanted. So I was committed to making a living, doing this work, empowering others to create a life that lights them up. And I had a limiting belief whenever the word business came up, right? When growing your business, money, all of that got connected to a long history of conversations, a lot of them with the husband, around numbers and my belief that I wasn't good with numbers. Like, I don't like doing math. I don't love spreadsheets. He was always encouraging me to like make financial goals for each month, and it just didn't feel in alignment, right? So I had a lot of resistance to it. And I'd have these unconscious, slightly conscious thoughts when I'd connect to, okay, like I need to buy a house. I'm going to need to buy a house. I'm going to need to save money. How am I going to do that? I'm not going to be able to grow my business. It's just a domino effect. And so I used a process that I'll demonstrate today to replace the limiting belief that I had that I'm not good with numbers, recreate the words into a new belief that I really, really believed, and attach a symbol to that new belief to help me kind of reprogram my psyche. So in this example, I did what I call a soul scribble, which again, I'm going to demonstrate, but it's literally like close your eyes, scribble for 2 seconds, and then play kind of the cloud game. Like, what does it make you think of? What do you see? So I did a soul scribble with the intention of coming up with a symbol that would help me align with some belief that I could handle growing my business. So I ended up with birthday balloons, which I then turned into this painting, right? So my first thought when I saw the balloons in my soul scribble was like, okay, really? How hard is it to see balloons in a scribble drawing, right? Like, you're always doing the loop-de-loops. But I knew to pay attention, to, suspend that inner judge, that inner critic. And so I'm like, okay, I'll play along. What do balloons make me think of? Birthdays. My birthday is 7/1/70. And I was like, whoa, since I was old enough to understand birthdays and numbers, I have loved the energy of numbers. I always loved that I was born on the first. I love all of the sevens, it kind of has a nice ring to it. And so I was given in that moment a new belief that I love the energy of numbers, right? Like I love numerology. When I was renaming myself, I'm doing the numerology of everything. I absolutely love the energy of numbers. So I believe that completely. So I painted the birthday balloons, not because it was going to hang on the wall or it was any masterpiece, but because as I painted them, I was like integrating, weaving into my awareness, this new belief that I love the energy of numbers. And then I hung this right in my office near my computer. And anytime I would have a wave of that, like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to make this work? Or is it going to happen? Or am I going to have enough? I would bring birthday balloons into my awareness. And you all have to experience this for yourself, but literally the image, just bringing it into your mind's eye, it's like it just dissolves that limiting belief to the point that, you're like, oh, I love the energy of numbers. And so that symbol becomes a yantra for your new belief that you are reprogramming. Right. And the birthday balloons have no baggage connected with the words business or money or growing my business, any of that, completely independent. So that's really important to understand the energy behind your desires. In Rise Above, there's a whole chapter on abundance. And most of us associate abundance with finances. Right. And if you currently don't have an abundance of dollars in your bank account, it's going to be hard for you to align and really feel the energy of abundance around money. But you can connect to the feeling and the energy of abundance looking out the window right now at all the snowflakes that I see outside, right? Or the abundance of dust in my house. Or, so you tune into the energy of abundance. Like, wow, I have an abundant number of teas I can choose from to have right now. So you train yourself to align with and seek out that energy of abundance, of inner peace, of clarity, whatever it is, in all the little ways that you can. And eventually you'll get to the ones that have caused you to question, right? Like abundance, yeah, for some people, but not me. I still have credit card debt and da, 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 right? So you're working with energy, and these symbols are just like pure energetic capsules, and you can look at them that way.
I love that. So I'm super excited to dive in, but before you, I want to come back to something you just said, because I think this is really powerful for people. You had that moment when you did the balloon thing of saying to yourself, ugh, balloons, right? Like so easy to see in the loopy things that you draw.
Yeah.
Here's what I've noticed. When I do scribble drawings, they're really loopy too. I always see people in them. And I always have almost my first thought is like, ugh, again. And what I've noticed when I look at other people's drawings is they're not just all loopy full of people, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like that piece about like trusting that what you created is perfect for you. And so as we move into the process, I'm going to invite you all to be in that place of like, I've also had the thought before when I've done processes like this where I'm like, oh, it's so cliche. But you know what? And I find not everybody else thought the same thing as I did, So.
Exactly. Exactly. And this points to something that I think you and I are both highly motivated by, is that this art practice, the creativity that we so want you all to just embrace and have, at your fingertips and play with, is not about creating a finished product that, could hang on a gallery wall and sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is about getting to know yourself. This is about understanding how you can create more of what you want into your life and less of what you don't want in your life. This is what art making does. And I've been having this conversation with people now for 25 years, almost 26 years. And I still get so fired up. I still am slightly bewildered at the mystery of it, because it is so powerful when you just go to the art journal, the canvas, whatever, with the intention of getting to know your most self-expressive, creative, authentic self, of allowing the canvas to be a mirror to show you like where you're not trusting your inner guidance, where you are shutting yourself down because you're comparing yourself. The canvas becomes this beautiful mirror, and it will help you create the change that you want to be in your life just while you paint. You can practice being your own greatest cheerleader, and it will ripple out into your life almost effortlessly. And it just continues to blow my mind. And I so love having this conversation. Yeah.
So we dive into the process then?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
So I got some Sharpies. Those were handy. And again, part of me is demonstrating this to show you all how easy this is. It really is super simple. So the first thing that I would invite you to do is to bring your awareness to something in your life that is calling you, right? Something new. There's something new that's calling to you, something you've just maybe heard about that you'd like to do, a place you'd like to go, someone you'd like to meet, something you'd like to learn, anything like that. Likewise, you might invite into your awareness something that is frustrating you. That you really want, maybe when you're looking into 2022, you're like, this is the year I release this pattern or habit, right? Maybe there's something you really want to do, and notice if there is a voice that's like, yeah, but, right? So bring that to mind. So we're going to ask for a symbol that can serve to help guide you, that can be your yantra for this new beginning. Likewise, if you don't have anything, or, you can think about that part later, you can really just ask, I'm open to receiving a symbol that will serve my highest and greatest good right now, right? It's just like pulling an oracle card. We're just creating the oracle card along the way. Okay. So what I normally do is literally you can do this on anything. And I think I'm just going to use half my journal here, but you're going to take whatever you're using. I normally am using ballpoint pens or, a pencil. So either way, it's a great kind of energy work. Anything you can do. If you say you're online and something frustrates you, like just pull out and do this little scribble. So put the marker pen down, close your eyes, and just scribble, and then stop. So you're going to get to something like this. Okay. So now I always encourage people, you can get to know your kind of right, left brain voices right now. The left brain is the logical, linear. It's your inner critic. It's there to protect you. It's a great ally of yours. It's just simply not meant to steer the ship, right? And we've been kind of tuning into that side of us abundantly over our years. So then observe the right hemisphere is like, ooh, okay, let's play, right? Just like a little kid. So summon up your inner child, which is more intimately connected to your higher self than your adult self. So your inner child, this is why the inner child work is so fun and so important. So look at it, and you're just asking yourself, what does this make me think of? What does this make me think of? Okay, so you can keep spinning it around. You might see something different every time. Okay, so when I first held this up, the first thing I saw was a boat. So you all may or may not see a boat. If you're not drawing along with us, you can use my drawing. Look at it. What do you see in it? Right? I kind of see a bird there, like a squawking bird or something, but I'm going to do a boat because that's what I saw first. So now all I'm doing is turning this into more of a boat shape. So you can tell this is not about any expert drawing. I mean, sometimes I do soul scribbles to start a painting, right? And they can become super fun, amazing paintings. But our intention with this right now is simply to help us connect with and get to know this process of working with sacred symbols. Okay, so once you see whatever you see, so I see a boat. Now, hear me when I say I wear Google out, like what is the symbolism for boat, right? So another great thing to do is just to ask yourself, okay, what does boat make me think of? Okay, so boat, is it on the open ocean, taking a journey? Are you picturing pirates? So whatever comes to mind is information. So pirates is an interesting one. I don't normally bring that up. So like, what does pirates mean? Like, are pirates I'm getting, for me personally, this is funny, that pirates are kind of the inner rebel, right? Like they're going after what they want. They're seeking the treasure. They're not like, oh, do I deserve it? Am I good enough? Hell no, I want the treasure, right? So they're pillaging and out on the open oceans looking for treasure. So maybe that is why boat came to mind. I work with a book called The Hunab Ku. It's by Karen Spierstra. And in there, the boat is a symbol of journey. And there are cultures that buried people, like the Nordic, the Vikings, would put the people that had transitioned, put their bodies in a boat with all kinds of things, and then light it on fire and sail it out into the water. So that's about death and transformation, right? The journey of life. I've also used boat as a way to help me remind myself to steer my attention, my thoughts, my ideas towards where I want to go. Right? I remember when I was still reeling from the divorce and trying to help figure out how to make him understand, and that old loop. And I got this awareness. I was working with boat, and it was like I kept steering the ship back to that port that I'd already left. And it was just like, stop, like it doesn't work. You've already left. Focus your attention, steer the boat in the direction that you want to go. Right. And then what you do is, so say you're the boat. So the boat must have come through for someone else too. So say you want to journey somewhere. Maybe you want an inner journey. You want a deeper spiritual life. Maybe you want to journey. You are ready to get out that passport, right? Whatever it is, where is there a limiting belief there? And really, the boat works for anybody. Like, where is the limiting belief? Just watch your thoughts. Oh, I want to go on it. Yes, I want to dust off my passport. Whitney, are you kidding? But I don't have enough money. COVID, income's gone down a little bit. Watch your thoughts. Go back to, what do you want? I want to journey. I want to learn how to shamanic journey with my frame drum, right? I want my meditations to be like a journey. I want to go visit my whomever. Watch the limiting beliefs and then bring yourself back to what you want. I want to journey. What is a new belief connected to boat or connected to whatever drawing, whatever symbol you got in your soul scribble? What is a new belief that you can replace the belief, I don't have enough money, enough time, I'm, not spiritual enough or whatever, right? So for example, a new belief can be like, I get to steer my awareness in any direction I want. And I want to journey. So I am steering my awareness in that direction, and I trust that I'll get there. Right? So these symbols then become the boat. You may start seeing boats everywhere. I recommend, even if it's like a ballpoint pen and Post-it notes, post little boats on your, bathroom mirror, by your bedside table, on the way out the door, on your car dashboard. And every time you see a boat or whatever it is you drew, a ladybug or a, snowman, it'll bring your awareness back to, right, I steer the direction of my awareness. I, am like a snowman. I am present and embracing the moment, because I might melt anyway. But the working with symbols is just bringing them into your environment, sitting there, doodling them, draw a tattoo with the Sharpie on your arm. But allow the symbol to gently, it will just gently replace the old neural pathway that went from your desire to all the reasons why you can't do it. And the symbol is going to blaze new trails from your desire to all the ways you can, or to a new level of openness, to a new level of personal sovereignty. This is what I want. I don't need to know the details, but it's going to happen because I say so, because I choose. I choose, I choose, I choose. And working with these symbols is a powerful tool that you can use to really help you to maintain a level of awareness that is in alignment, is in coherence with the fruition of that vision. And it will happen sooner than if you keep dipping down into all the reasons why you can't.
I love this. And I have questions, but first I want to share. Okay, so this is what I saw. And there's this is I always see these figures, but this little thing, it's like, I saw this and I added the yellow, and it was like, this is like the thing on a lanternfish. I used to read all the time to my kid, like a book called Rainbow Fish, and there were like these little lanternfish, and that's the first thing that popped in my mind. And then there's like this big giant water droplet. So when I think of like water droplets and whatnot, I think of flow energy. And I was thinking about, like, my question was, how do I take that next step into the next level of my calling, which is really this big project that I've kind of been like thinking about for a long time, but have a lot of fear around. I was a little bit stumped about this. And so I, like, while you were talking, I was like, oh, I'm going to Google it, because she said Google it. And I love it. I just looked up what it's called, an anglerfish, I guess. I called it a lanternfish, but anyway. And I love it. It says, anglerfish symbolize the unseen world, navigating darkness, and luring energy. They remind you that by strengthening your relationship with the various layers of the unseen world, you will be able to see and navigate deeper truths and emotions than most. I love that. I'm like, I feel like for me, and I'll be really curious to hear from other people too, right? Like that other side of the limiting belief, it's not like coming right now. It's sort of like, I feel like I'm on a like a treasure hunt. Like, there was another piece, right? So maybe part of it is that last part, that like I can see and navigate deeper truths and emotions than most. Like, that feels really resonant, and maybe part of it.
Yeah, well, and think about like the familiar emotions of, yes, I have this goal, I have this desire, I want to serve, I want to step into my calling deeper. And I don't know how that's going to look or how it's going to work. And again, we all do this. Like, our logical linear mind jumps in and is like, okay, but this part of your business is really what pays the bills. So don't, let go of that. Right. And So the anglerfish feels like it's calling you to this new level of trust. Mm-hmm. I don't need to understand how it's going to happen. I just stay open. Mm-hmm. But here's what I'm excited about, because as soon as you mentioned the water droplet, this has been coming up a lot lately. In quantum physics, there's a principle called the holographic nature of things, basically. Yeah. Holographic nature of the universe. So the part contains the whole, right? So the water droplet is a water droplet. It's also the ocean, right? Mm-hmm. And so that water droplet is letting you know, and this has been a big theme in my journey as well, is it's like, okay, I want to help and serve more people, and I used to attach that to like public speaking on stage with a bunch of A-listers. And then Spirit was like, YouTube? Like, if you want to speak to more people, speak to more people, like, get on your YouTube channel. So I feel like, it's the classic, like, every journey begins with a single step. Mm-hmm. And so your next level of calling, the next step is just like as tiny and as manageable and as visible, or as, just available to you as a drop of water. Mm-hmm. But that drop of water is the same as the entire ocean.
I love that.
Right. So it's like, okay, I can just be this new aspect of me. I can be that. It doesn't have to be in full color out loud to the public. I can just start being like, I am someone who leans into my call. I am someone who leans into the mystery. I trust these desires of my heart, or these intuitive hits that I'm getting. And I'm open, and I'm able to trust that the next step will be shown to me. This is what my book, 30 Days to Unstoppable, is all about. It's like, you become unstoppable when you realize you don't have to know every step from here to a million. You just need to know the very next step, and then understand that all of us, whether we're aware of it or not, are in a co-creative relationship with, pick whatever it is for you, your infinite self, the divine, the universe. We're in a co-creative relationship because energy always precedes matter. Everything exists as energy first. So on an energetic level, when you align with this trust, belief, hope, I just need to open and surrender and allow this to come through me. That's when we become unstoppable. And the cool thing is you've just taken all the pressure off and you don't have to do it all. You don't have to figure it all out by yourself. You just follow the very next step. And these symbols that we're talking about are a way that we can be guided and led.
Yeah.
So if any of you have images or symbols, well, everything is a symbol really. But if anything comes up, like, wow, I'm seeing, chevrons everywhere. I'm seeing palm trees everywhere. I'm seeing, cats or bears or owls everywhere. Look up the symbolism and there will be your next clue.
Totally. I love that. Yeah, I'm always Googling like magical meaning of, symbology of, like all of those things are always coming up for me. This has been super fun. I love how it's so simple. It's so easy. Like it doesn't have to be hard, right? That seems like the big overarching thing in my life right now. Like it doesn't have to be hard. We can create really powerful symbols, and I guess you would call it an affirmation for yourself, and it doesn't have to be hard or difficult or take a long time. All right, so
Absolutely.
as we are wrapping up today, first of all, come on over into the Radiant You Facebook group and share with us what you created. Share, whether you're like, this is what I see for sure. I know that this is my message. Or maybe you're like on the journey, you're on the treasure hunt like I am. Like, what is that thing? Come and share. We'd love to see it. We'd love to support you. If you would like some support around that, if you'd like to hear about symbology, ask for that support. And also, I know, Whitney, you've got a fabulous free gift to share with everybody. So if you've enjoyed this little taste into hanging out with Whitney and you want to dive in more, tell us about what you've got for us.
Yeah, I have a really fun online program that I created just for you all. It's called Your Magical Creative Awareness. And it really creates a fun journey to exploring how you create, where you get stuck, and all the ways you can use sacred symbols in order to help, kind of fill in the complement of whatever is wanting more of your attention or energy so that you don't feel like you're getting stuck. Because here's a big thing that I've noticed with everybody, art, life, is we all get stuck. We tend to judge ourselves, right? Like, oh, I'm not feeling creative. I don't know how to get started. I haven't painted or, fill in the blank in 2 weeks or a month or whatever. And the reality is that's part of life. Like we all have these cycles. And we do have limiting beliefs. We have creative trauma in our past that can often cause us to feel like we're being blocked or stuck. And so this course looks at that, like this is part of the creative process. So let's look at it from a place of like gratitude and fun and creativity. And it uses the chakras, it uses sacred symbols, and you'll paint along with me a symbol that will symbolize the complementary energy that will help you feel more in flow more of the time.
Beautiful. I love that. That sounds so great. And I love what you just presenced there, right? Like what a big shift it is to think about like the difference between, oh my God, I'm stuck again, to like getting stuck is sort of part of the process. Like expect it. The beauty is how we move through it. So
Yes.
I love that. Awesome. Well, it has been so fun to play with you today, Whitney. I want to thank you for being here with us. And I want to thank all of you too for taking this time out of your day to pause, to create. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you've created. So thanks again for being with us, Whitney. It's been great.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Mhm. Looking forward to seeing you all on our next session. Bye now.